Now I purchased this set inexpensively, but it's a really decent set. It's a Premier Artist Maple. A couple of the drums say that they're hand built, and a couple of them say made in British made. They're made in England by Premier. So this shell is a 6-ply solid maple shell. So now when it comes to the toms, I like to have the same weight skins on the bottom and the top. And I like to use single-ply skins. Now these drums though, they have these skins that came with the set. These are called Everplay skins. Now I'm not sure what the thickness of these are, but these are thin single-ply skins. Now these skins were made for Remo, but they were made in Taiwan, and they are actually made out of Melanex. So the difference between them and the skins that Remo actually makes on their line, Remo skins are made out of Mylar. So you're gonna get a different sound. Now I prefer single ply on all my toms. So when it comes to the snare, wherever this was stored, it was stored somewhere where it actually created some kind of a dirt film all over the wood. But what I did was I used my guitar polish that I used to polish my guitar on a little section here, and I was able to get that film off. So this drum should shine up really nice. But in order for me to do that, I'm gonna actually disassemble the whole drum. All right, so let's get started. First thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna take off all of the lug nuts. Now I'm gonna use my portable drill. Now never use a drill to tighten up your lugs. Always do hand tighten. Now I'm not gonna worry about this actually because I found that one thing is that all of these nuts are nice and loose, and there's nothing stripped on these at all. So they're fine. So undoing them with a portable drill is okay, but I wouldn't drive them home. Never do that. When you place them in, you want to finger tighten them and make sure that you're not stripping anything. Never strip your lugs, otherwise you're going to have to look for all new inserts and another lug, or maybe the whole thing, the whole lug, not just the bolt. All right, so I'm going to pull these off and then we'll come back. So here you have the rims are off, and if you notice, look how dirty that this shell is. So we're going to clean that up. Now I'm going to take the lugs off. So at this point I could actually just spray the actual guitar polish right on, and so you can see the difference there, right? Compared to more gungy. Gungy, that's a word, isn't it? All right, I'm gonna do this shell and then we'll start putting the lugs back. These are the bottom and these are the top row. Not that it really makes a difference. As long as the nuts are not stripped, there should be no problem with these. So I'm using this rag actually for the actual cymbal cleaner for the chrome. Okay, so this is the bottom, and I saved the same 2 nuts that were actually on the bottom, or for the actual nut that I actually pulled off. So we're going to start this by hand. We can actually turn it over here. We could drive them home. You definitely want to do this by hand. Don't attempt to use a drill for this at all, because turn it around. Let's get rid of this. You gotta work. I like to work clean, but sometimes I get ahead of myself here. Okay, so So there you go. So now there's the bottom. Now you should be able to feel how tight. You don't want to overstress them, but you don't want them understressed. You want them tight. And we'll do the top. So the snare's done. I have all the lugs on. I have the throw off on. I cleaned it, put a little bit of that lithium grease only on where it slides up here. It's fine. Okay. There you have it. There's your drum. Nice and shiny. Strainer on the left. And put the logo up. There we go. All right, so let's do the top. This is gonna just fit in here. We're only gonna do this loosely. Here's the top. We want to get them all started, but we don't want to drive them home. And you want to definitely finger tight. Just get them all started where they're not going to strip. And then we're going to drive them home. There we go, with the key. And we're just going to get it semi-tight because we're going to get the bottom skin on. And we're going to tune the bottom skin first. I'm going to show you what I prefer, what I like. Okay, so I evenly went across the lugs to get the skin settled evenly on the rim. You're going to hear crackling because it's going to have to settle in. So right now I have it light and it's not tuned. I don't want it tuned. Now the reason why I did the top head first is because I want to see that logo, because I want to put the bottom logo in the same place. Does it matter? No, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so now as I'm beginning to do this, I want you to see that you want to press these in evenly as you go along here. Tighten up these lugs even. Go from one side to the other, back and forth. Now all these wrinkles are going to come out. All right, let's see. This one's a little low. Okay, that's pretty tight. That is pretty tight. I mean, it can go a lot more, but we want it very tight. Just going a little more. That sounds about right to me. Slip this up into this part. Do it now. Okay. So this is the key. Now when I pull on the other side with the strainer to close this, it's going to pull this snare over a little bit. So when we start this, we want it in the center. We want the same gap on each side. Well, you're going to have to start it closer to the rim. What I did was I cut this more and I actually made another crease. So I came up to the crease when I slipped it in. Now, if you notice, when I do close it, it's still too loose, okay, but we'll get it tighter. But if you notice that the snare is almost exactly even on each side. The number one main thing is to make sure that the ends are not over the shell. Okay, let's tune this up. Now, normally, I don't just turn the nuts without testing. Okay, this is too... Now, as these, okay, so the top's going to be pretty tight also, but as you tighten them down, the skin's gonna start crackling. Now I could already tell that this is still too loose. A lot of snare drums have muffles in them to take a little bit of the ring out. And you can hear the ring on this one for sure. So now that's the top skin actually. So here we go. Now, if I had a muffle on here, just put that on there. But not as much. You put a moon gel on. I'll show you what they are down the road. Anyway, so this is done though, even though it's got a little bit of a ring in it. That's it, but we'll get it on a kit. And I'll get a moon gel on it to just take that little bit of ring out. It'll sound good. So there you have it. So there's your Artist Maple. Okay? It's all done.